Just recently I released a video in which I talk about my theory's 3-part 77 episode, and then I could not even imagine that today on September 10th we will get the first leaks, which we will talk about today, and I will analyze them in detail, because they are actually quite a lot of small details and hidden Easter egg. And with you as always, I'm Moby, and I'm glad to see you on my channel. So be sure to watch the video to the end, and also put a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss the release of new videos. But in any case, we begin. Well, I will not tell you again how the previous part ended and what details about it we knew long before the release of these leaks, because earlier I have already told you about them, so I suggest you immediately start analyzing the new leaks. Here it is, the first and in my opinion the most interesting leak of the available, because it shows Plungerwoman, and that's exactly how it should be called now. Even this leak tells us that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll explain. This fragment is a reference to the 50th episode, because in it we could see the same scene, when Plungerman alone went to fight against a large army of opponents, and it is unknown what would have happened, if at the right moment did not appear Titan Cameraman. But in the current realities, Titan Cameraman is unlikely to come to the aid of the Alliance, because we have not seen him since the attack Astro Toilets in episode 74. We still don't know if the Titan survived and what became of him. On the leak you can also find a caption that goes something like, "Who's gonna save you now? Who's gonna save the Alliance now? After all, their Titan is not around, and is he alive?" Also, this scene reminds me a lot of the events of fan-made 3-part 77 episode by SKIBIDI, which I also recently told you about. Apparently SKIBIDI feels the plot of the original universe on a spiritual level, so Mr. Boom praises his work. But let's get back to the leak. What could still be happening at this point? Will Plungerwoman take such a risk and single-handedly fight a large army of dangerous Astro Toilets? Yes, we know she's got a new upgrade, but can she really face them alone? And some will say, Moby, she's not alone. In part 2 of episode 77 we saw that a squad of upgraded cameraman agents came with her as well. Yes, you're right, but we've only seen them fighting the rather ordinary Astro Toilets. And what if in part 3 there's a Duchess or a Juggernaut? Then there's nothing left for them to do but flee. But that's not what we're seeing on the leak, and I have some theories about what might be happening. But for that we need to look at the second leak. In the second leak we see the same Astro Toilet that we saw in the first leak, and if you look closely you can see the word plan. But what does that mean, and what is the plan we're talking about? The Astro Toilet plan or the Alliance plan? I assume that it is the plan of G-Toilet Titan, because Mr. Boom repeatedly said that in episode 77 will appear G-Man, and in principle it was expected, because in the first part we saw part of his team. I also think that Plungerwoman is aware of this plan, because as we saw in part 2 Cameraman Squad did not attack G-Man, and maybe they are aware of his plan. So my theory is, when a similar moment happens in the episode, the Titan G-Toilet will come to the aid of the Alliance in his new suit, but that's just my theory. And also I'm sure that these are not the last leaks we will get before the release of part 3 of episode 77. And as for its release, it's pretty hard to guess when it will be released, but I will continue to follow all the events of the SKIBIDI Toilet world to tell you all the latest information, and if you want to be the first to get all the leaks, then join my Discord server, because that's where all the new leaks of your favorite SKIBIDI Toilet universes first appear.